Well, welcome back. Today is a bit of a different project. Um, so this here is going to be a mallet. More looks like a chair leg, I know, but my woods teacher showed me a mallet that another saddle maker in town was doing. He takes this, turns it into a handle, and then it's like a balanced mallet, which is great because when you're doing long projects with ones like these, your hand just wants to go like this. Gets hard to control. You start getting non-accurate, especially when you're using one like this. This one here is 32 ounces, 24. So it definitely gets to be a pain. So today we're gonna cut up some rawhide. I already did all the wood stuff today and yesterday. Some maple, I believe, maple or some other form of hardwood. But yeah, we're gonna head upstairs to the bathtub and grab the rawhide quick. Alright, so up here in the tub, doesn't smell particularly great, but got some really soft, nice soaked rawhide here. Believe this is goat. This is just a very cheapy piece of it here. Let's wait for some of that water to drain off and I'll meet you guys back downstairs. Alright, so we got our rawhide back down here now. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this doesn't go quite up to 5. No, we get 4 inches out of there. And need the ruler. Pretty sure that we need good old 5 inches. Yep. So we need to take a straight edge here. Measure out 5 inches, which ironically is perfectly sized here on this big square. And I'm just gonna cut 5-inch strip and then I'll put you guys back on. Alright, so I got the rawhide all cut and squared up here. Now, it's wet, right? So it's gonna be stretched out. So what we wanna do is we wanna have it just under or the same size as this, which is a 3/8. Sorry, 1 3/8 measurement on there. So we want to have 1 3/8 times 4. So I'm just going to get out the calculator quick and get that measurement out. So that turns out to be 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 inches. So flip our ruler over here. God, I hate working with rawhide. Wrong side of the ruler on this one. Hard to do this with one hand. Okay, 5. Had the wrong side of the ruler out. So 5 1/2 is there. So now we're going to cut 2 of those strips out and I'll bring it back on. Alright, now that we got our 2 pieces of rawhide out, go in the toolbox here. Where's my wing divider? There it is. And we are going to want to set it. I already got mine set, but where's the ruler at? There it is. It's just a 1/4 of an inch offset difference here. Try and get the camera set up so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then keep in mind, if you're working with the same sizes, which way is 5 1/2 and which way is 5. So this way I'm pretty sure is 5 on mine. Sorry, 5 1/2 this way. And this way is 6 inches, which is weird because it should be 5. So we're gonna fix that quick. Sorry about the shitty camera angle. There we go. So there we are there. Proper size now. It should be 5 this way and 5 here, which is good. And then we got our 5.5 here. So this is the way, the 5.5 that we want to mark. We're just going to take our wing dividers here. We just want to make a quick little scribe line. And then I recommend these type of stitching one of these stitching forks. It's just essentially 4 hole punches, but of course you don't have to use that one. There's obviously like the other ones here that I got, the diamond awl and the lace cutter one. Those also work really good, and then alternating diamonds are amazing too, but I would definitely recommend these ones, especially for a project like this where we're going to be working with a lot thicker than normal thread as well. Makes it a bit easier to saddle stitch it on, which you guys will see here in a bit. But yeah, I'm going to get the holes punched, get this one all cut up and made into the right length, and I'll bring it back on. We're just getting ready to start getting our thread cut to length and our needle set up and everything. Alright, got our holes all punched here. This is another reason why I love that punch over the other ones, is it just leaves such a nice clean hole. Rawhide is starting to dry out here, so I'm going to put this into the bucket under the desk here and get it soaked for a little bit longer before we get ready to install it onto there. On second thought, I brought him upstairs and got him in some like boiling hot water out of the sink. I'll let that soak for, I don't know, probably till 2:30, just to get them nice and pliable. They already are like 10 times better than they was, so I guess we'll see. Alright, so they've been soaking in here for about 15 minutes or so, 20. They're definitely a lot better than they were. I'm going to leave that one in there, and we're going to go and put this one on. Alright, now we're back down in the shop here. Got our rawhide and our thread. So we're going to do sort of like a saddle stitch, but in an X pattern. Not going to get fancy with the terms, because none of you are going to know what it means anyways. Do 4 times our length. Should hopefully be enough to do so, but guess we'll find out, won't we? Just gotta grab 2 needles, saddle stitching needles. Forget the brand name of the company that makes these needles, but definitely one of the best needle brands I've ever had. If I find it out, I'll put it in the description or something, but very, very common brand. They're very well known in the scene of leather making and shoemaking for sure. I only ever have one size of them, but I definitely need to go get more sizes, because this thick thread here needs definitely a pain to get through these needles, especially if it's wax thread. But yeah, whatever. It's all relative. Alright. Well, we've got our thread and needles all set up here. Gonna grab our mallet, and I'm just gonna line it up so that the stitching corner is, or the stitch is gonna be right on the corner. Oh, you guys can't see that, sorry. It's gonna line up right on the corner here. The stitch is just gonna kind of hopefully be perfect. Alright. Little short here, but feel like I can stretch that out a bit. That's better. So now, with it like that, I'm going to start from the bottom, from the inside. Smell isn't exactly a desirable smell, but nothing is ever perfect, is it? Alright, to show you guys what I'm doing here, let's move all this shit out of the way. Take the needle on the opposite side, go either, you can do, I'm going to do a baseball stitch, which is just where you go from the inside as such, go out, over, out. But another really good stitch that would be probably more ideal, actually, yeah, I'm going to do this one instead, but what you do is you go across into the hole and through, and then you take your opposite thread, or your opposite needle here, you go over, try to go over, and through, and then you can just give it a quick, good pull. And it'll pull it all together and have nice little X on the outside. So I'm just going to do that about 30 more times and get this on here, and then I'll put you guys back on and show you the part of the final result. Well, that's not good. Just broke my thread. So now I'm just going to cut it off, remeasure, and restart. I didn't think I was going to have enough thread anyways, so just add a little bit more this time anyways, just make my life a little bit easier in the end. Stuff happens. If it happens to you, you're not the only one now. I knew it was going to happen too. Knew it was going to happen. Let's get all our old thread picked off here. Where'd the thread go? Oh, flung it off the table when my hand slipped. I'm going to do 5 times this time instead of 4. Get her cut. And same process, so I'm not going to show you guys everything you've already seen again. So I'm just going to get back to what I was doing, try and get her done for y'all. So for this go around here, I switched up what I was doing a little bit. I ended up continuing with the baseball stitch instead of doing an X stitch, because I think it'll be better when I get closer to the end. Also, I can get it quite a bit tighter, I think, than I could with a regular just X stitch. And it seems to be working a lot better this time. Got a decent stitch going, but yeah, I'll update you guys as I keep going. Alright, here we go. Got the rawhide on there. Might go bang it on the concrete just to get it nice and flat for when it dries. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video, I think. It's probably going to be decently long already. I'm going to do the same thing to this end, and I'll give you an update on how everything dries and everything in the next video if I remember to. But yeah, thanks for watching again, guys. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll see you here again the next time that I make a video. Maybe I'll make a bifold next time, or I don't know. Something will come up. See you later.